Writing down with some
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Friday morning to you, everyone. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And you were mentioning yesterday at noon that there was a chance of some tornadic activity, and it looks like there might be.
Yeah, and these types of storms, it's one of those rare cases where you have all the ingredients, you're just waiting for them to happen. It's not likely, but it did, yeah. And we'll get to that video here in a second. First, though, let's take a look at what's going on out there right now. So, just a heads up, there's no tornado chances today. No tornadoes active right now. Breathe a sigh of relief. The severe risk is over for the day today. In fact, it's going to be a pretty pleasant afternoon following this morning fog. Look at this. In downtown Utica, that fog from the Mohawk River is slowly inching its way into the downtown area, and it's pretty dense. So budget some extra minutes today as you head out to work or if you head out to school. Look at this right here. Pretty much a lot of locations this morning waking up to fog. Rome, Hamilton, Binghamton, Saranac Lake, all foggy. If not foggy, you've got overcast skies here and there. But there are some clearing spots here where above that fog there's crystal clear skies. So today's temperatures climbing to near 80 again. There's no afternoon rain we're tracking, though. It's a completely dry day. You have any Friday plans? You've just got a breezy one to deal with. That's really about it. But we're going to track some additional rain arriving tonight and tomorrow, and that'll set the stage for a cooler pattern heading into the weekend. We'll talk about that in a lot more detail, plus breaking down that tornado coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. So what started out as typical thunderstorm or evening took a left turn quickly, and now it's cleanup time after a probable tornado touched down in Ava. First, let's show you where Ava is. We'll zoom in on the map right here. Ava is north of Rome and just southwest of Boonville. This all happened just after 6 o'clock last night. And this is what our crews found right there. A big tree came down on a home on East Ava Road. When we arrived, the folks there already had their chainsaws out. Numerous trees had fallen down in that area, including one uprooted on Flint Town Road. We checked in with Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel. He tells us that there were no reports of any injuries, just trees down, and you can see our own James DeFazio there last night reporting. We also checked in with the Boonville police chief about possible damage in the village, and he said that there was no damage up there. Of course, we'll be continuing to follow up today with local officials to see if there is any other reported storm damage or injuries from last night's storm, as well as checking in on the National Weather Service to see if they too will be coming out to survey the damage. The Utica Common Council.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. Today, after quite a busy evening and afternoon yesterday, it's quieting down, but still, you've got some impacts travel-wise heading out to work. Let's take a look first at some area traffic cameras, and a pretty common sight for all of these. Not too often do we see widespread fog across our area, but that seems to be the case today. From New Hartford to Herkimer to Boonville down to Bridgewater, all cameras reporting at least some ounce of fog here. And our visibility tracker here pretty much sums it up here as well. Look at all that fog. 0 mile visibility, Rome, Hamilton, Saranac Lake. Budget some extra time heading out to work early today. Now, despite that, yes, there's still plenty of green across the board here on our traffic tracker, but just the heads up today, a foggy morning, and it's pretty dense fog too as well. Also a reminder, always use your low beams when you're driving through fog. High beams reflect more of the light and makes it more difficult to see. This afternoon, though, the fog lifts. There's no rainfall expected. A sunny and breezy afternoon with highs near 80. We are going to track more rainfall tonight and tomorrow. All that and more coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Fashion designer Giorgio Armani.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. The story today, some pretty dense fog across a lot of the area. Let's take a look at downtown Utica right now, where the fog is pretty dense, coming from the Mohawk River, extending out into the downtown area. And of course, it's not just Utica. It includes Rome as well. Rome picking up the readings of fog as well, temperature 52 degrees. And this extends as well through areas north and south. So just budget a few extra minutes when you head out to work today. Just because of that fog, just take it slow. So when it comes to our weekend forecast, we're tracking some early to midday rainfall Saturday, temperatures in the 60s. Same thing Sunday, so a bit of a cool down. But Sunday, drier of the 2 weekend days, partly sunny skies. But here what's going on today, we've got clearing taking place right now, at least above the fog layer. And we're going to track plenty of that sunshine as we head throughout the day today. High school football begins tonight. Friday Night Lights. Best time of the year, in my opinion. And we got some nice temperatures for it in the low 70s, upper 60s, mainly dry weather. If you're up toward, say, Boonville, Old Forge, you might have a passing light shower, but light rain is still football weather, isn't it? So on our Skycast today, we begin with that morning fog. This afternoon, temperatures climb into the mid to upper 70s, pushing 80 degrees. By 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., see what happens up here in north. There could be a stray shower. 10:30, 11 o'clock, we could see another passing shower, this time impacting more of the area. Brief 5-10 minutes. It does end overnight. Then Saturday morning, it starts out dry. We're in the 50s and 60s. We're going to see that rain develop in the late morning, early afternoon. It will exit by the noontime, 1-2 p.m. But there's still a few more stray showers mixed in with clouds that will pass over us in the evening. That's the actual cold front that will move through. And again, just generally unsettled. See those passing showers here and there as that front slowly inches east. Then Sunday, it's mostly dry. We're tracking a few straggly showers up north, which will fall apart as they push south. But still, when it comes to the weather for the next couple of days, you got some rain showers here Saturday. And then as we head into Sunday, it begins to dry up a little bit. And then begins a relatively quiet stretch. High pressure sets in. Temperatures slowly climb, but it's going to be seasonably cool in the low to mid 70s as we head to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There's just no big signs of any weather system coming in our direction. So, yeah, we have some rainfall this weekend, some beneficial rain, and then it dries up with some nice weather to wrap up the final days of summer, Gary.
We'll enjoy today, won't we?
Yes, pretty nice out there.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5 morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center, tracking some massive fog, right?
Yeah, a lot of dense fog. In fact, behind you, Gary, it's a bit difficult to even see the hospital in the background of how much dense fog is falling to the valley. We'll get to that fog here in a minute, but first, the elephant in the room, the tornado, or at least potential tornado that took place in Ava yesterday, the Warren storm up north. We'll take a look at what led us to believe there's more likely a chance than not there was a tornado on the ground. First off, we look at the rotation in the signature here. Reds and greens, when they're next to each other, that's not a good sign, especially when we couple that with what's called the correlation coefficient. Basically, the radar signal determines if the object in the sky is symmetrical. Raindrops, snowflakes, they're symmetrical. Tree branches, debris, they're not. And it shows up that way in the form of a different color right here, which in our opinion indicates there must have been something causing that. And in that case, there was. In the last half hour, you saw that tree damage that took place. So the Weather Service in Binghamton is coming up today to survey the damage, and they'll have an official report coming up later tonight. Back to the forecast today. Again, it is a quiet morning out there, at least rain-wise, but it is a pretty foggy morning. You see that fog out there in the distance. Now we're going to track that fog lifting, temperatures climbing into the upper 70s, near 80 with lots of sunshine. But there's more rain on the way. We'll track that straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The showdown over
Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Happy Friday. Quite a week it's been so far, especially yesterday, all that active weather. Now today, weather's quieting down, enough to kind of recap what took place yesterday. And how about this for a photo sent in by a frequent submitter, Yvette. Forgot to put your name in the corner there. Don't worry, I have it right here for the next half or next hour of Sunrise. But Yvette always sends in some great photos. And this is one right here of the wall cloud pushing its way through parts of Baldwinsville. Look at that shot right there. If you have a storm photo you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Always excited to see some of these photos. Again, some of this showcasing the strength of Mother Nature, and that's the case in this photo right here. So, again, today, no severe weather expected, but we'll recap what we can expect for tomorrow and into the weekend, rain-wise and temperature-wise, straight ahead. Gary?
Thanks, 13 dogs have been seized.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
That Bachful had some cinnamon in it, too. It was delicious. Let's take a look outside right now where it's a foggy morning out there. And just a heads up, if you head out to work today, to budget some extra time on your morning commute due to how dense some of this fog is. And it's not just isolated. A lot of locations here today experiencing this fog. Temperatures low 50s, expected to climb a few more degrees to the upper 70s, near 80 this afternoon. Quiet here on the radar and satellite for the most part, and again, it does remain quiet heading into tonight. Of course, most importantly, high school football begins tonight. Temperatures in the low 70s, upper 60s. It's dry for the exception of those of you up near Boonville, Old Forge, where there could be a passing light shower, with a better shot for rainfall on Saturday. But then things begin to dry out on Sunday. Either way, the weekend is looking cooler. Temperatures in the mid-60s. So let's take a look at what things are shaping up throughout the weekend. So we begin with Friday today, starting out with some sunshine after some morning fog. Dry in the afternoon. Here's what I mean by a passing brief shower in the North Country. Brief is a key word here. And then overnight, a stray shower drying up tomorrow morning. Starting out dry with mostly cloudy skies. Widespread rain arrives into the early afternoon, then that exits, and maybe a stray shower again in the evening, mixed in with mostly cloudy skies. Just generally unsettled for Saturday and overnight into early Sunday morning. Then Sunday is mostly dry. There's a front approaching from the west. That is expected to weaken as it moves in. You can see the rainfall chances decreasing as it heads through Lewis County into northwestern Oneida County. But then following that, again, temperatures remain in the 60s and 50s, cooling down to the 40s and even potentially 30s in some spots heading into the overnight hours into Monday. So in following this weekend's unsettled weather and cooler weather, by the middle of next week, warming up into the 70s with some sunshine, quiet weather, a pretty nice end to the final days of summer. We'll be right back.
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on this Friday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And as we mentioned earlier, yesterday at noon, you were mentioning the possibility of some tornadic activity, and it looks like we might have seen some.
Yeah, it was one of those, 1 in 100 chances, and that one chance took place. And yes, there was some potential tornadic damage, and we'll get to that video here in a second. First, though, just a heads up for those of you worrying about today. There is no tornado risk today. There is no tornado risk this afternoon, and there's no even just storm risk in general. But what we were looking at right here is the rotation. Reds and greens next to each other is not a good sight to see when we look at velocity scans. And then on top of that, we use what's called the correlation coefficient. Basically, the radar sends out radar signals, and they determine if the object in the sky is symmetrical or asymmetrical, like, for example, raindrops or nice spheres. Tree branches, boards, debris, they're not, and it will not identify that. A really cool recent technology that lets us potentially see the tornado on the ground a lot earlier than before. So, of course, we'll show those videos of the damage here in a second. But first, the weather today. It's quiet, just some foggy conditions out there. Pretty dense fog, so budget some extra minutes heading out to your workplace today. You can see it's pretty widespread. Look at all these reports of fog, from Syracuse to Binghamton, all the way to Saranac Lake, all reporting fog. Now that fog will lift, and the sun will peek out this afternoon with highs near 80. Lots of sunshine. However, as we head into tonight and tomorrow, there's a better shot for even more rainfall. Maybe some beneficial rain. It's not all bad news. We'll track that and more coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. So what started out as typical thunderstorms on a late summer evening took a left turn quickly, and now it's cleanup time after a possible tornado touched down in Ava, as Eric mentioned. First, let's show you right where Ava is. We'll zoom in on the map. Ava, just north of Rome and just southwest of Boonville. This all happened just after 6 last night, and this is what our crews found right there. A big tree came down on East Ava Road right onto the house, and when we arrived, the folks there were already having their chainsaws out cleaning up. Numerous trees had fallen down in that area, including one uprooted on Flint Town Road. We checked in with Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel. He tells us that there were no reports of anyone being injured, just a number of trees down. And as you can see right there, our own James DeFazio was reporting live last night. And we also checked in with the Boonville police chief about possible damage in the village there, and he said there was no damage that he had heard of. Of course, we'll be following up today with local officials to see if there is any other reported damage or injuries from last night's storm, as well as checking in with the National Weather Service to see if they will be coming out to survey the damage. The Utica Common Council voted.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Friday morning. After a pretty busy storm system last night, things have quieted down a little bit. Not a whole lot of rainfall, but a lot of dense fog. It's a story today. Let's take a look at some traffic cameras. And first time in quite a while, we've seen fog on all 4 of these cameras, going from New Hartford to Boonville, Herkimer, Bridgewater. For example, you can see here the Seneca Turnpike intersecting Genesee Street. Quite difficult to even see the intersection out there right now. Same thing as head toward Caroline Street and Herkimer right there, where that fog is a little bit on the dense side. And just look at this shape of fog here. A lot of locations, 1 or 0 mile visibility. So just budget a few extra minutes when you head out to work today when you encounter this fog. Other than that, there's no accidents to report of, which is the good news early today. But still, again, this morning, it's a foggy start, dense fog. This afternoon, we climb from the 50s and 60s into the upper 70s, near 80 degrees, with plenty of sunshine as that fog lifts. We're going to track some more rainfall in our short-term forecast. We'll time it out and talk about how much we could see straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Fashion designer
Prices and local company. It's Wheelock Disposal. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
That shot right there was overlooking Utica. Almost looks like a blanket right over the valley, right? We take a look underneath that blanket of fog, and downtown Utica, the live scene right now, actually very close to the ground here, right along Risky Boulevard, is actually not so foggy. It is a little more elevated, and we're going to see that fog slowly rise and then fade away as the temperatures climb throughout the day. So that dense fog still not in the lowest of elevations, but it's still present there in the city skyline. We look at the current conditions. It's foggy in Rome, 50 degrees of temperature in a lot of locations today, witnessing some pretty dense fog. So I've been saying it all morning, but still just a reminder, budget a few extra minutes on your morning commute to deal with this fog, because again, it is thick in some locations. Radar and satellite is showing quiet conditions across the area, and it's going to be sunny for the most part today. And most importantly, high school football begins tonight. And Friday Night Lights, you got some nice weather for it. 70s, upper 60s, with some increasing clouds. Yes, there's a chance of a stray light shower, especially if you live in Boonville or Old Forge up north, but the rest of us looking mostly dry. The weekend forecast, we've got a tale of 2 different days. So Saturday, it's generally unsettled with some early to midday rainfall, temperatures in the mid-60s. Sunday, more sunshine than not, but still, we have some cooler temperatures in the mid-60s continuing on for the second half of the weekend. But let's time it out here in our Skycast. Still, though, look at this widespread fog this morning. It will slowly lift. There will be sunshine this afternoon. High temperatures near 80 degrees. So that cold front yesterday really not putting that much of a difference in the weather today. But By the evening, watch what happens up north. Camden, Boonville, Old Forge area, a stray shower. Better shot for that actually takes place in the evening and overnight tonight, around 10 to midnight. And then tomorrow morning starts out quiet. Mix of clouds and sunshine. Rain showers mid to late morning. It dries up by the early afternoon. And then by the evening, clouds, maybe a stray shower. More rainfall potentially overnight. So you can see here, we're just not completely done with rainfall just yet all Saturday and early Sunday. Sunday's a little more dry. You can see those temperatures climbing into the 60s. In fact, some spots maybe close to 70, but still, it's a breezy day. Rainfall out west falls apart as it pushes its way east. Your 7-day forecast, following the 60s this weekend, we are climbing into the 70s by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week with quiet weather. Lots of sunshine. Pretty nice stretch to enter the final days of summertime. Seems the summer's just flown by, Gary, but we got some nice weather to wrap things up.
Yeah, clean up those golf clubs. Keep them out.
Keep them out for a little bit.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook. And good morning once again. And thank you for joining us here on this Friday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore. And what can we expect in the day ahead? Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us. And Eric, a lot different than last night, right?
Yes, much quieter weather today. In fact, yesterday, with how active it was, there was a potential tornado touchdown in northern Oneida County. Let's take a look at what's going on right here. First, we use a variety of tools in our jobs here to identify potential tornadoes, one of which is rotation. Reds and greens next to each other indicate some rotation in the atmosphere, but that's basically half the story. The other half is combining it with what's called the correlation coefficient. Basically, it's a radar signal getting sent out and determining if something in the sky is symmetrical or not. Things like water droplets, snow, that's symmetrical. Boards, branches, debris, those are not. And it will identify that and put a debris signature on it. And we saw this correlate with the rotation, which is something that is indicative of a potential tornado. And then combined with that, there was reports of damage on the ground in Ava, and that's what we were tracking there as well. So lots of damage down there. Our thoughts are it was a tornado, but it's not confirmed yet. The Weather Service will be conducting a storm survey later today to determine if it exactly was, but it's still plenty of damage up in Ava in northern Oneida County. Now today, no storm or tornado risk. It's rather quiet, still a bit foggy out there. In fact, live look at downtown Utica, very foggy. Sunshine this afternoon, more rainfall tonight and tomorrow. We'll track the timing of that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The showdown over
Omni, we've got your back.
Welcome back to News Channel 2 at sunrise on this Friday. What a week it's been, especially yesterday. A lot of that active weather, some storms coming in, and this photo sent in to us by a frequent submitter, Yvette, of a storm rolling in from Baldwinsville. Look at this shot right here. You got a wall cloud right there, and that's all that violent lifting of air going from the surface way up into the cloud, if you're wondering what those clouds like that look like. And anytime you see a huge cloud and they're very tall, taller clouds usually mean stronger storms, and that's the case right here. So shout out to Yvette and shout out to Baldwinsville this morning for a great photo of that storm rolling in and a reminder of how strong Mother Nature can be. If you have a photo like that you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Gary?
Could be photo of the year from Baldwinsville. That was something.
Yeah, it was an impressive shot. It looked like a spaceship too, Gary.
Yeah, wow. Eric, thanks. 13 dogs have been
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Got some pretty dense fog across the area early today. We are starting out by taking a live look at our Nexus Center camera in downtown Utica, where is a very foggy morning. You can't even see the city skyline there with how dense that fog is. And it's pretty widespread too, not just Utica, but Rome, Hamilton, Binghamton, Saranac Lake. A lot of locations this morning waking up to that fog. So if you're heading outside to work today, just budget a few extra minutes on your morning commute. Make sure you get to work on time in case you have to slow down with some of that fog here. Besides the fog, the radar and satellite showing quiet conditions. There's that front that produced the rainfall and storms yesterday. But here locally, things looking mostly quiet. And most importantly tonight, we're returning to some high school football. Friday night lights tonight, and you got great weather for it. Low 70s, upper 60s, a few clouds increasing. Yeah, maybe a stray shower for those of you in the Camden, Boonville, Old Forge area, but for much of the region, it is going to be entirely dry. Not so much the case, though, as we head into tomorrow. By the late morning, early afternoon, we got widespread rain on Saturday, temperatures in the 60s. A little warmer on Sunday with partly sunny skies and drier weather with some partial clearing in the sky, too. So look at the sky cast here today. Dense fog turns to sunshine by the afternoon, highs approaching near 80. As we head into this evening, notice a few pockets of some light drizzle up north. Then overnight, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, a passing brief shower. Not a whole lot of rainfall, but still a chance there. Saturday morning starts out dry with a few passing clouds throughout the morning. We're going to see that rainfall move in. Here we go. There's that rainfall. Passes over us. It exits by noontime, 1, 2 o'clock. Still mostly cloudy, still a few areas of patchy drizzle, but the heaviest of rain is over and done with. Then more rain arrives, light rain arrives overnight into early Sunday, and then that's the last chance we'll see of any notable rainfall. There are some chances of some showers up north in Lewis County, northern Herkimer County, but they will fall apart as they push their way east into the Mohawk Valley. So your 7-day forecast, widespread rain on Saturday. Sunday, a little more dry, mid to upper 60s. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a little cooler, but it's drying up. And that's the trend for much of next week. We got a pretty quiet, dry, pleasant stretch of low 70s. Just great late summer weather, Gary. So as you mentioned previously, don't put away those golf clubs just yet. Take advantage of the nicer weather before you have to put them out for good.
Maybe we can go through December.
Oh, some golfing in December. That's a good idea.
Eric, thanks. Well, and a rest.
And meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And meteorologist with the National Weather Service in town just about an hour ago, right?
Yes, and they just in the past half hour confirmed an EF0 tornado.
Wow.
So let's zoom in on the map here. We can see where this took place. Back up a little bit here. I don't know, appears my remote isn't working here. Here we go. Now let's go zooming into Ava. This is where the tornado took place. Now confirmed, EF0, 80-mile-an-hour winds. Now that's a preliminary report. There's going to be a lot more information, including the path, coming up later today around 5 p.m. We'll, of course, have the latest on that coming up at the Live at 5 News Hour and at News Channel 2 at 6. Now, we were able to somewhat confirm, confirm is probably a strong word for this. More likely than not, this was a tornado we were thinking yesterday, just based off the fact we saw rotation here and we saw debris on the radar scans. Sometimes it's very well defined. This time it was mixed in with interference, so it wasn't 100% concrete, but looking at the damage, looking at the debris signature and the rotation, for us, it was just a matter of having a survey officially determine if it was. And that's the case. Anytime, by the way, if there's any potential tornadoes on the ground, the National Weather Service are the people that confirm it officially. They do the surveys, determine the wind damage and whatnot for that. Downtown Utica, it's quiet out there, but notice the sky is a little milky. We have some wildfire smoke, a fresh delivery from out west. It's not a whole lot, not really impacting air quality, but it's still there. So we'll see that pass over us in the next couple of hours. Again, it's mainly quiet this evening. A few sprinkles and showers arrive tonight, with a better shot for arriving tomorrow. We'll track those chances coming up in a few minutes. Gary.
Eric, thanks again. The National Weather Service in Ava this morning surveying the damage that we showed you last night right there. This is on East Ava Road. And when our crews arrived, they already had the chainsaws out trying to take that tree down from the house. Numerous trees had fallen around the area, including one uprooted on Flint Town Road in Ava, and there was our own James DeFazio reporting last night from Ava. Again, the National Weather Service has confirmed that an EF0 tornado did touch down, and as Eric mentioned, we'll have much more on this as we do learn more from the National Weather Service. Brand new this noon, we have heard back.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. On this Friday, welcome to Friday. We have some sunshine out there, but sky's a little milky. Take a look at Oneonta, where it's a little bit white in the upper atmosphere. Have some wildfire smoke passing over us. It's just way up in the atmosphere. It's not impacting our air quality by any means near the ground. Temperature is 66 in Oneonta, expected to climb slowly into the mid 70s in the higher elevations and upper 70s in the valleys. Radar and satellite shows quiet weather right now, but as you look out to the west, this is where some more activity is going to slowly move in. So it's going to take a while, but progressively over the next 24 hours, we'll see a few more rain chances, especially as we head into Saturday. But still, if you have any plans to go out to some football games tonight for Friday Night Lights, you got great weather for it. 70s and 60s with some isolated rain showers, especially as you head up north and west of Utica, that are not expected to last long, but still the potential is there. And as we head into the weekend, our best shot for rain is on Saturday. Mid to late morning, rain showers, temperatures in the 60s. By Sunday, partly sunny, a little warmer, into the upper 60s, but still, the whole weekend's going to be slightly cooler than average. But compared to Saturday, Sunday is the better of the two weekend days for any outdoor plans. So we look at the bigger picture here. That cold air stays to our north. That cold front moves through Saturday, and then we're going to see that cold pocket of air slowly inch its way east. We're going to get a taste of it on Monday. That's about as cold as we're going to get. Then it warms back up again as we head into Tuesday. So on our Skycast here, morning dense fog. It was quite foggy out there today. Turned to some sunshine this evening, maybe a few sprinkles up north. Then a passing shower overnight. Drying up. It's a dry morning for your Saturday, but quickly rain begins to move in from that approaching front, and it's going to continue for the mid-morning until the early afternoon. The rain exits, but we're not done with rain yet. The evening hours Saturday is going to be a mix of clouds and drizzle. It's just going to be a generally unsettled day Saturday. No storms expected. Well, maybe a few rumbles of thunder in the morning, but no storms expected in the afternoon. We're in the 60s, drizzle, lingering drizzle overnight into Sunday, and then Sunday is mainly quiet. A few stray showers up north and west, which they'll fall apart as they push their way to the east. Into your 7-day forecast, a rainy Saturday on tap for the most part, mixed in with cloudy skies and drizzle. Sunday, breezy, cooler, upper 60s near 70. And then begins the pretty quiet stretch of weather. Monday through Thursday, it's going to slowly warm up again with lots of sunshine there. Quiet weather. So we got great late summer conditions on tap for next week and beyond, Gary. So we're not done with summer just yet.
Yeah, so after Saturday, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful days. 5. Pretty nice. Yeah. Eric, thanks. The Trump administration. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, I can't help but listen to you saying that wildfire smoke from the west now.
Yes, again, we're dealing with wildfire smoke. Now, thank goodness today it's not really impacting us. You can see it in the sky right here. Let's zoom in here. We can see Utica, and the usually blue skies appear somewhat milky. And yes, that's that wildfire smoke. It's actually coming from the west. Well, impacts from the west. It's actually getting carried southwest of us and then getting pushed its way back up north again. So we can actually see this pattern right here. It's actually coming from down here and then sweeping north. These are from some wildfires out west, not from Canada, by the way. So just the way the weather patterns are shaping up right now. But either way, it's just producing some milky skies. This is not impacting air quality. Around the state, the temperatures in the 60s and 70s. 71 Rome, 68 Hamilton, 73 in Syracuse, 72 out in Albany. And today's highs are going to climb into the upper 70s, near 80 degrees before tonight. We're going to see the chance of a stray shower and overnight lows falling down into the 60s. Tomorrow starts out dry, but we are tracking better rainfall chances as well as a potential dry stretch for several days next week. All that and more coming up with that full weekend forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Former President Biden underwent skin cancer.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. After quite a busy evening yesterday with some storms, even a confirmed tornado in Ava, things are quieting down today. Now, look outside. It's sunny, a little hazy from some wildfire smoke. This, again, is not impacting air quality, but still, temperature is pretty comfortable in the upper 60s, near 70 in parts of the Mohawk Valley. Radar and satellite shows a pocket of high pressure keeping things dry here locally. Our next rainmaker is out here toward the northwest, and it's not a steady one. We're going to see some on and off rain chances over the next 24 to 36 hours. Still, though, Friday Night Lights take place tonight. We're back to high school football, and you got great conditions. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're in the low 70s, upper 60s by 9. So still, you've got great weather for it. Maybe a stray shower up toward Camden, Boonville, and in sections of Old Forge. So we head into the weekend. Tomorrow, it's unsettled for the most part. Some late morning, early afternoon rain. It does end a little bit with cloudy skies and some light drizzle in the evening, but still, it's just generally an unsettled day. Sunday's your best bet. We're in the 60s, near 70 with partly sunny skies. A very comfortable end of the weekend. But look at the bigger picture here. We have this churning area of low pressure, all that cold air, and yes, even some reported snow showers up north of Lake Superior. That's staying out to our north. We are going to get a bit of a taste of that cool pattern, especially as we head into Monday. We see that green and blue moving its way east, and this will eventually arrive again by Sunday night into Monday. That's about as cool as we're going to get. This shifts back up north again, and we're going to start to see a warming trend as we head into next week again. So, on our Skycast, some morning dense fog turned to sunshine this afternoon. Pretty quiet and sunny. By this evening, a stray sprinkle up north. Other than that, it's dry until tonight. A passing shower between 9 and 11 o'clock. That only lasts maybe 15, 20 minutes, if that. Tomorrow starts out dry, but watch quickly as this surge of rain showers begins to move in the late morning, early afternoon. Especially as you head out farther east, there could be a rumble of thunder, but the biggest risk just being some steady rainfall, even if you count that a risk at all. Then by Saturday afternoon, it does dry up a little bit, but we do have a few areas of light sprinkles moving in. That'll end. Additional light rain overnight, and then by Sunday morning, it starts out with a few clouds. Sunshine moves in, and approaching front up north and west. It slowly moves in, but it weakens as it passes into central New York. So for the most part, Sunday, it's breezy, 60s, mainly quiet weather here. Your 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, Monday, the coolest day of the next 7, high of 63. Much of the day we spent in the 50s, but don't fret. As we head into next week, we're back into the 70s. 71 on Tuesday, 73 Wednesday, 70 on Thursday with plenty of sunshine still, and that pattern will likely continue as we approach the end of the week and beyond. So for the rest of the final days of summer, looking pretty nice. Make sure you go out and enjoy it, because before you know it, the snow will start falling in a couple of months. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are back with News Talk
With Kristen Copeland and Jason Powis.
Just shy of 24 hours since a storm hit Ava, and the National Weather Service has confirmed it was a tornado.
An EF0, the wind was about 80 miles per hour, and the tornado traveled about 2 miles. It is your top story tonight. No reports of any injuries, but there was damage. That's what the National Weather Service assessed today on East Ava Road. You could see numerous trees came down. One was uprooted on Flint Town Road. A final assessment from the National Weather Service was expected any minute. I want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis to see if we've heard from them.
Yes, it's brand new. Just got it a few moments ago here. Ended up being an EF0. The highlight here is that is on the ground for 3 miles.
Okay.
And it was a very small one. And that's one thing that we've learned over the years, especially with these pop-up tornadoes, the ones that happen on a relatively ordinary day, that they're fast. They happen really quickly and oftentimes with very little warning. That's exactly what happened here. This was a touchdown before 6 o'clock, and it was on the ground for about 10 minutes. And 3 miles long. The path width was only 100 yards, which is pretty small for a tornado. But again, this is a very common spot that we see this across northern Oneida County. Our weather history has shown several tornado touchdowns in this spot, and we hypothesize that it has something to do with the terrain. We need more research, more extensive research to confirm that, but that's just our gut here, because again, we've seen a lot of them happen in a very small area over the years. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things are quiet. It's going to be a lovely evening. 79 degrees, a warm day, dew points down. It does feel more comfortable than it did yesterday, and temperatures will be in the 60s this evening. Great weather for high school football. We are tracking some rain to start the weekend. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Staying on the story, News Channel 2's request for surveillance video in the
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking some lovely weather here for Friday night football, and it's not going to stay this way. We're going to see some rain as we start the weekend. Let's take a live look outside. Downtown Utica, plenty of sunshine, some haze in the sky from wildfire smoke. It's not affecting air quality, but you might notice a nice sunset tonight because of that, and some extra haze in the sky. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. Just wanted to follow up on a couple of things. So, got this piece of video today that I thought was really interesting, and I actually think this is a funnel cloud. This video was taken by Jen Camp in Waterville, and what you're seeing here is a lowering, but it does look like there's some rotation on the bottom of this. It doesn't look like it touched the ground. There wasn't any damage in this area, but I think this is a funnel cloud. I do have to confirm this and go through all the radar images to see if we can match this up with any sort of broad rotation. So it's not a confirmed one yet, but it is something we're going to continue to look at. What was confirmed today, of course, was that Ava tornado touchdown. This marks the third one in central New York this year, 6 for New York State. Kind of wild to think that 3 of them happened in one county, Oneida County, our county, in our viewing area. And again, hopefully we will not be adding more to this list. A reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. We are asking people to have multiple ways of getting weather warnings, because one complaint that we often hear is that people didn't get the warning. And in 2025, there's no reason not to. There are so many different ways you can get warnings. This is one way. Another way, and this is one that I highly recommend to people that always want to have a second way of doing this, is a weather radio. So you heard this go off during the newscast yesterday. This went off first. This informed us that there was that tornado warning. We have a Midland weather radio that we use at WKTV, but any one works very well. There's many different ones that are out there. As we look at the bigger picture again tonight, the weather looks great for high school football. Temperatures will be in the low 70s under mostly cloudy skies. It does look dry and pretty comfortable, at least for the fans. It might be a little warm for the players, but again, we are looking at dry weather. The rain returns for the weekend. It looks like midday rain for Saturday, late morning, early afternoon, and it is trending a little bit cooler, 61 for the high. Partly sunny Sunday, 66. A new development for Sunday is there is a very small chance of a brief shower. Doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal, but it is possible that would be happening in the afternoon. So you look at the bigger picture, it's high pressure building in. A couple of scattered showers are going to be arriving tonight. This area of low pressure, this upper area of low pressure will be rolling in, and that'll bring us our next chance of rain. Tonight, increasing clouds. A few showers will be arriving overnight. Temperatures drop into the 50s. Saturday morning starts out with showers. I think the first half of the day is wet. The rain probably lingers into the early afternoon, even longer than what Skycast is indicating. Temperatures will be in the low 60s. We do get a chance to dry out in the late afternoon to early evening, and it should be a nice finish to the day. Tomorrow night, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the 50s. And then Sunday, again, for most of us, it does look dry, but notice a couple of showers showing up. Temperatures will be warmer Sunday afternoon with highs in the mid-60s. Showers late tonight, a low of 57. Tomorrow, rain, especially in the morning to early afternoon. Temperatures in the low 60s, a much cooler day. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Partly sunny skies expected Sunday and Monday, and it's a beautiful stretch of weather as we head into next week. Really comfortable during the day. It's cool at night. It's the type of fall weather that so many people enjoy, which means you can save some money on your energy bill. Just cool off the house naturally, warm it up naturally.
Plus, a lot of kids have games and things in the afternoon and early evening.
You're thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about the parents sitting in the stands or on the sidelines.
Well, yeah, you don't have to bring the hoodie or the parka to sit out there and watch the games.
Yeah.
Well, it's more the umbrella.
That too.
Don't forget the
Anyway, so
sunscreen.
this isn't, yes, and don't forget the sunscreen. That's a nice stretch.
Yeah.
That's a great stretch for outdoor sports.
Absolutely. All right, thank you, Bill. What would you do?
Tracker 2 team, where we track storms.
Your top stories tonight. The National Weather Service has confirmed it was a tornado that hit Ava, an EF0, wind about 80 miles per hour, and the tornado traveled 3 miles. The result was a lot of downed trees, especially in the area of East Ava Road, where the National Weather Service sent a team to assess the damage.
The Utica Food Pantry is asking that we spread the word about their new look.
Is the return of high school football in the area, and with that, the season premiere of Sports Express.
Always an exciting time. Many teams in the area get their regular season underway under the Friday night lights. And we have a huge slate of games tonight. News Channel 2's Thomas Tallarino joins us now live in Rome to see what we have in store for tonight. Thomas, good evening.
Thank you, Jason and Kristen. It feels like Christmas in September right now.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
So we got a lot of storm cloud photos that folks have sent us. This is one of them from Jess. As that storm that eventually produced a tornado, this is what it looked like earlier when it was crossing over the northern half of Oneida Lake. We did not get any pictures of the tornado itself, and that is what we would expect, because looking at the radar images, it's very likely the tornado was rain wrapped. In other words, it was raining really hard, and because of that, you weren't able to see the funnel cloud. That often happens a lot. That happened with the tornado in Rome. All these people that were out in it, yet we don't have any videos of the tornado because of, again, all the rain that was happening while that storm is producing the tornado. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet. It's a lovely evening. It's going to be a cool day tomorrow. We'll be in the low 60s. It'll be in the mid 60s Sunday and Monday. The weather next week looks fantastic. Very comfortable, very warm, and lots of sunshine too. Good weather to take the dog out for a walk this evening. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Tonight's featured dog is Callie from Yorkville. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. If you're looking for summer, look no further than the Utica Public Library. The District 5.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A much quieter day today. Lots of sunshine. It's a live look at Oneonta. Temperature of 73 degrees. It was a lovely day. Warm, breezy, pretty comfortable, and quiet. The one thing that has been noted is some haze in the sky. We'll address that in just a second. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's all quiet across the region. That haze does come from wildfire smoke, which is moving in from the west. It's fairly light, but it is going to be noticeable high in the sky. It's having a minimal impact on air quality to our west. We're not expecting any big air quality issues here over the next couple of days. But again, this thin layer of smoke will give us a pretty nice sunset tonight, and it's going to be hanging around into the weekend. Again, not expecting a whole lot of impacts with the air quality here. This will be drifting to the south as we head into the weekend. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Great weather this evening for high school football. The weather looks quiet, looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be in the low 70s, so pretty comfortable for fans, maybe not so much for players. Kind of a warm evening here in central New York. Our sunset nowadays is a little before 7:32. As we're looking at the weather over the weekend, it is unsettled. Saturday, we're tracking widespread rain for the first half of the day. The rain doesn't last all day, but it lasts for a little over half the day. We'll look at high temperatures in the low 60s. Sunday, partly sunny skies, temperatures in the mid 60s. Looking at our sky watchers checking in. Bob in Clinton, 79. Mike in New Hartford, 77, picking up about 3/4 of an inch of rain yesterday. Barneveld 74. Heading into Herkimer County, Donna, Norway 73, Jeff and Mohawk 77, and Otsego County, Skineva 78 degrees, and Carroll and Worcester is 75. So we have a window of dry weather that continues as we head into early this evening, but then this cold front will drop in from the west, and this will bring us scattered showers heading into the start of the weekend. Tonight, a passing shower late, overnight lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, we'll start out wet. Temperatures in the upper 50s Saturday morning. Kind of a gloomy first part of the day, but it does get a little bit nicer here in the afternoon and evening. Temperatures will be in the low 60s. The weather remains partly cloudy heading into Sunday. There is a slight chance of a passing shower Sunday, especially north of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures look warmer with highs in the mid-60s. Showers late tonight, low of 57. Tomorrow, steady rain in the late morning and early afternoon. We'll get a chance to dry out late in the day. 61 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Weather looks gorgeous next week. It's cool through Monday. Temperatures still in the 60s, but Tuesday it's warming up. 74 for the high. Lots of sunshine. Warm days, lots of sunshine, and cool nights. Overnight lows will be in the 40s to near 50. And we're looking at dry weather beyond after Saturday, and that looks to continue for most of next week. We'll be right back.
The news with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
At this time last night, thunderstorms were rolling through the area, and one of those storms spawned a tornado.
The National Weather Service confirming today an EF0 with winds of 80 miles an hour, touchdown for about 3 miles in Ava. It is your top story tonight. Here's what we know. No reports of any injuries. That's good news. But there was damage. That's what the National Weather Service assessed today. That happened on East Ava Road, I should say. Numerous trees came down, one of them uprooted on Flinttown Road as well. Late this afternoon, the final assessment from the National Weather Service was released. For that, let's turn over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. You've gone through all the information right now.
We were what? Just shy of 24 hours ago, you had all these bells and whistles going on.
Weather radio went off.
Which, by the way, this was extremely useful, this weather radio. I mean, this went off even before our weather app. So we always encourage people to have multiple ways of getting weather warnings in case one doesn't work for some reason. And you kind of saw that in action yesterday. Now, this tornado touchdown, a surprise, but not really. We know that this is how tornadoes often behave in New York State. They spin up very, very quickly, and this one was only on the ground for moments, only a matter of minutes here, with maximum winds at 80 miles an hour, which is a small tornado. We've actually had wind damage, straight line wind damage that causes more destruction and severe thunderstorms than what we were seeing here. But either way, this is the path that was determined today by the National Weather Service. We also have this posted online if you want to take a closer look. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. It was a warm, breezy day. Still is. 78 degrees is the current temperature. We do have some haze in the sky from wildfire smoke, but that's not expected to cause any issues. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s to low 70s this evening. Great weather for high school football. We are tracking some rain to start the weekend. Going to look at the forecast coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A Clinton man is facing charges for allegedly
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking lovely weather to finish out the work week, but the weather is changing. The next round of rain is going to be here to start the weekend. Let's take a live look in downtown Utica. We should have a lovely sunset as we have some wildfire smoke in the sky. It's very thin, but it is creating some of that faded sunshine, some of that haze. It's not affecting the air quality at the surface. The smoke is aloft. We'll keep an eye on that. We're not expecting this to cause any big issues here. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. It's going to be dry as we head into tonight. Now, there was a video here that I wanted to address that we saw today that took place last night. This was in Waterville, and we think this was a funnel cloud. This video comes from Jen Kampf. The players did go inside, by the way. But this likely lowering in the sky, there was some rotation here. It didn't look like it touched the ground. But we backtracked and looked at the radar, and there was some weak rotation at this time that would coincide with the direction that we're looking at. So again, we're pretty thankful that that did never hit the ground because that one in Ava did. By the way, you can always get our Storm Tracker 2 weather app on your phone, and we're asking folks to have multiple ways of getting weather warnings. And like mentioned, this is another way too. This is our weather radio for WKTV. It's a Midland. There's a bunch of them out there that you can buy, and again, we're encouraging people to have different ways of getting these. The one advantage of our weather app is it's free. You don't have to spend any money to have this available, and it will put out warnings just across the whole, all of central New York, along with your specific location. Again, some light wildfire smoke will be impacting us heading into the weekend. Not a big deal. Weather looks great this evening. Temperatures will be in the 70s for high school football. We are tracking some rain on Saturday. Sunday looks a little bit nicer, partly sunny skies, temperatures in the 60s. The next weather system approaches from the west, and it'll be arriving tomorrow. Overnight, increasing clouds, a few sprinkles late tonight. The steadier rain breaks out in the morning. So by 8 o'clock Saturday morning, widespread steady rain is expected. It lasts for about half the day. During the afternoon, the rain starts to move to the east, and we'll get a chance to dry out. Day should finish out pretty nicely. And then we're looking at generally dry weather Saturday night into Sunday. Showers and a few thunderstorms to our south and east. Sunday's weather looks generally nice. Can't rule out a sprinkle to the north, though. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s. Showers late tonight, low 57. Tomorrow, showers, more of a steadier rain in the late morning to early afternoon. And then we get a chance to dry out. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. This weather looks really nice. The weather forecast, we're expecting sunshine, temperatures in the 70s for the majority of next week. Temperatures will drop into the 40s and 50s at night, so hopefully that'll save you on your energy bill. You don't really need the air conditioner in these conditions.
What a silver lining.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. We'll get you ready for the first.
The news with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get to those stories in a minute. First, the weekend is here, and we're all anticipating nice weather. We're hoping for some nice weather. It's going to rain tomorrow, but before we get to all of that, we want to talk about what happened with the tornado yesterday. Because new information came out just today.
Yeah, so the National Weather Service was in town. They ended up surveying this. It was a confirmed touchdown. This marks the third local tornado that we've had this year, and the sixth one for New York State. But again, 3 of them happened in Oneida County, which is something. This was an EF0. It was a weak one. It was on the ground for just a couple of minutes. And it produced a path length of 3 miles with a maximum width of 100 yards. It's just pretty small for a tornado. I know that the storms that came through June in this area did a lot more wind damage compared to this tornado. And I know sometimes we make a big deal about tornadoes, but straight line wind damage is no joke. And I know that the event in June was a bigger deal than this. Live look at the airfield battery, Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things are pretty quiet. We're starting to notice some clouds working in from the west and a couple of sprinkles out there. Temperatures are in the 60s, 69 degrees. The current temperature tonight will drop into the upper 50s. A few showers will be arriving. Otherwise, it's a pretty quiet night. We're tracking a wet start to your weekend. It does look like Saturday starts out wet. We're taking a look at when the rain comes to an end and what the rest of the weekend looks like, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, Utica.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look in downtown Utica. A pretty quiet night across the region. We are tracking some rain to the west that will eventually be rolling in as we head into Saturday. So tonight, after all that happened yesterday with the Ava tornado touchdown, I went through and looked back on some of the previous tornadoes that happened in northern Oneida County. And what I found, and this is a very small area, there are more tornadoes that have happened in the county, but I focused on these ones. There were 6 of them that happened in a 15-mile radius in the past 5 years. That's pretty significant. That's statistically significant. For as few tornadoes as New York gets, there seems to be a consolidation or kind of a little mini, or what I would call a micro hotspot in Oneida County. Now, we have some ideas about this, about how local terrain is impacting and creating some spin near the surface, which is allowing for some of these tornadoes to happen. But the science is still needs to be settled here. There needs to be more research involved. What I can tell you definitively, 100%, is that this is not related to solar farms. It has been brought up many, 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 many times in social media. The idea is that solar farms create heat, and somehow that creates tornadoes. It is far more complicated than that, I can assure you. It has more to do with wind at the surface, which, again, it's a very complicated thing. We're still trying to figure this out. The other thing we were trying to figure out earlier today is, did this funnel cloud touch down? And it didn't. This is in Waterville. This was taken yesterday evening. This was a pretty close call with a funnel cloud that made a pretty close call in near Waterville yesterday evening. That was not related to the Ava touchdown, by the way. Reminder, you can always get Storm Tracker 2 weather alerts by downloading our weather app. You always want to have multiple ways of getting warnings. Another way is the weather radio, which is very helpful. For the weekend, temperatures are going to be in the low 60s Saturday. We're tracking midday rain. Sunday looks better. Should see some sunshine. Highs in the mid-60s. Showers approaching from the west this evening. This is all part of a secondary cold front that'll be rolling through tonight. And again, a couple of showers are expected overnight. Temperatures will fall into the low 60s tomorrow morning. Rain is expected early Saturday. It's widespread. Rain will be moving to the east for about half the day. It's looking wet, and then we'll get a chance to dry out. Temperatures look to climb into the low 60s. Tomorrow night, the weather looks mostly cloudy. On Sunday, the weather does look nicer, partly sunny skies. I can't rule out a sprinkle or a brief shower, and that's going to be mainly north of the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures look to climb into the mid-60s. Tonight, showers late, low of 57. Tomorrow, showers, more of a steadier rain in the late morning, early afternoon. A cooler day, a high of 61. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine Sunday, 66. Monday, mid-60s, partly sunny. It is looking gorgeous next week. Sunny skies, dry weather, warm, comfortable during the day, cool at night. It's literally the perfect fall weather pattern.
It really is. And you made the point earlier today. Make sure you wear that sunscreen. I mean, I know the sun angle is a little bit different this time, but it's still warm out there.
If you're outside for long periods of time, and a lot of people will be because it's really nice, make sure you're still wearing the sunscreen.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Bill. Much more after
The news with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get to those stories in a moment. First, though, the National Weather Service today confirming an EF0 tornado touched down in Ava yesterday. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis here. Break down this survey for us because it came out late this afternoon.
Yeah, so the Weather Service came into town and they surveyed the damage. We were like really certain that this was a tornado based on the debris signature, but they come into town, they tell us where it happened, how long it was on the ground, and more importantly, how fast the winds were, because we can't do that with radar alone. So it ended up being an EF0 tornado, 80-mile-an-hour winds. It was on the ground for about 10 minutes, and it was on, the damage length was 3 miles. Kind of a small tornado for New York State standards.
Good.
So again, the full survey is out on our website, as well as the National Weather Service's website too. So in terms of damage, I want to go out of my way to point this out. I know we focus on tornadoes a lot, but the wind that caused all the destruction in June, the straight line wind, was a lot more impactful and did a lot more damage than this particular tornado did. So sometimes we just got to keep that in mind when we're looking at these scenarios. I mean, they're all bad, but there's different levels of severity here. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Some scattered showers are starting to move in. Temperature-wise, 74 degrees, but it is going to cool off. We've got a cold front rolling through. Showers will be around. We are tracking a cooler start to the weekend along with some wet weather. Look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, new complete.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Pretty quiet conditions here tonight. Did some research this evening and added the Ava tornado to our Oneida County micro hotspot. This is looking at tornadoes in northern Oneida County. Let me go back to this image here to show you that there were 6 of them that happen in a 15-mile radius, which is unbelievable considering how few tornadoes New York State gets. These all happened in the last 5 years. There are more, and we can go into this above and beyond, but I focused on these because they were short-term and they were in a very small area. We hypothesize that this has something to do with the terrain, but more research is going to be needed to complete that thought. Midday rain for Saturday, 61 degrees. Looking at sunshine Sunday, a nicer finish to the weekend. Temperatures in the mid-60s. We are tracking some rain out there tonight. This is part of a cold front that will roll through. The front gets hung up to our east, and that's going to cause more rain to arrive with it on Saturday. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the 50s. Widespread rain Saturday. The first half of the day looks wet. Second half of the day looks better. I think the rain's done in the early afternoon. We'll see high temperatures in the low 60s. On Sunday, we do get a chance to dry out. Might see a brief shower Saturday night, south and east of Utica. On Sunday, it looks nice. Temperatures climb into the mid-60s. Can't rule out a shower, mainly north of the Mohawk Valley. Showers late tonight, 57. Tomorrow, showers, especially in the morning, 61. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks beautiful. Looking ahead, temperatures climb into the 60s Monday and into the 70s with lots and lots of sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Up next,